federal appeals court ordered the criminal case against Michael Flynn to be dropped this week. However, U.S. District Judge Emmet Sullivan has yet to dismiss the case against the former national security advisor. Flynn pleaded guilty in 2017 to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russia as part of special counsel Robert Mueller's probe. Meanwhile, there's an update for another Trump associate charged in the Russia investigation. Roger Stone filed a motion to delay his upcoming 40-month prison sentence by 2 months. He was convicted of witness tampering and lying to Congress. The Trump administration is facing criticism for supporting both Flynn and Stone in their respective cases. For more on this, let's bring in CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge. Catherine, good to see you again. Why hasn't Judge Sullivan dismissed Flynn's case yet?
Well, Elaine, let's be clear. The appeals court ordered him, and that's an important word, not direct. They ordered him to dismiss the case against the former national security advisor, Mike Flynn. And that's like the principal calling the teacher and saying, I know you don't like this action, but I'm directing you to take it. Judge Sullivan, you're correct, has not acted at this time. Lawyers I spoke to here in Washington today believe that he is considering his options or even toying with the appeals court decision. He has taken some limited action. He's told the government as well as the defense to file no more paperwork in this case. So effectively, everything is on hold, Elaine.
So if the case is not dismissed, is it clear what we can expect to happen next?
Well, there are really only a handful of options for the federal judge, Emmet Sullivan. He can acquiesce to the appeals court and he can sign this order to dismiss the case against Mike Flynn. He could delay further and consider his options, though many people would see that, based on my conversations here at CBS News, as contempt towards the appeals court. Or he can hope the appeals court will take on this decision, all of the members, what they call en banc. Now, this is something, based on my reporting, that the judge cannot request, because judges don't file appeals. That is only for a prosecution as well as a defendant. So the state of play right now tells you sort of how far outside the lines everyone has colored in the Michael Flynn case.
Wow. Okay, we'll continue to keep our eye on that. Let's turn to the Roger Stone case. Why is the Justice Department backing Stone's decision to delay his sentencing?
Well, Roger Stone is supposed to report next week to a federal facility in Georgia, Jessup, Georgia, and his lawyers have asked for more time before he reports to prison, citing the pandemic. The Justice Department, in a filing late this week, said that they would support a delay, not because he is Roger Stone and he is a friend of the president, but they've had a policy with the pandemic to allow people more time before they enter the federal system, because these federal facilities have effectively been hotspots for coronavirus infection. And this has been a blanket policy at the Justice Department, and it hasn't been dictated by whether someone is high risk or of a certain age or have pre-existing conditions.
Interesting. All right. Attorney General William Barr, we know, is expected to testify before Congress next month. I have the date on my calendar. What do you expect lawmakers to question Barr about? I know, July 28th. So what is it that you expect lawmakers to question Barr about? And Catherine, should we expect the Flynn and Stone decisions to be included in that questioning?
Well, Elaine, I think things are very fluid. I think it's quite possible that by the middle of July, the Flynn case may well be over, but there have been many unexpected turns. If this case is still live or still active, we can expect the Attorney General to take questions on his decision to move to dismiss the case. We've been through this many times here on CBSN, but he made that decision, he said, on the basis that he didn't feel there was a legitimate investigation open into Flynn at that time when he was asked these questions about his conversations with the Russian ambassador. He can also expect questions on Roger Stone and what was alleged to be an effort by the Justice Department to seek a more lenient sentence. In an interview just today with National Public Radio, the Attorney General did answer some of that criticism over Stone. He said the line prosecutors, so those who brought the case against Stone, recommended 7 to 9 years, but he felt that this was, the Justice Department rather, felt that this was excessive. And he pointed to the fact that the judge in this case, who was no friend of Roger Stone, in the end gave him 3 years and 4 months, so just over 3 years, which the Attorney General said he felt was in line, given the fact that Roger Stone did not have a prior federal record, nor was he a violent offender in this case.
Finally, John Bolton's new book, The Room Where It Happened, has been a major topic of discussion all week. We should mention that it's published by Simon & Schuster, a division of Viacom CBS. But this week you discussed the book with the former acting director of national intelligence, Richard Grenell, in the first network interview from someone representing the Trump administration. So let's go ahead and take a listen to some of that.
If John Bolton believed any of these issues that he's bringing forward now, he should have brought those same concerns forward immediately. These are very big charges, and he didn't bring those forward when he heard them. He didn't stand up. He packaged them for a book that we know he got a huge advance on. I just find that to be suspect.
So you're saying Bolton, in your view, is not a man of principle?
No, what I'm saying is that John Bolton didn't recognize that the President of the United States was the president and that it was his policies that John Bolton should have been supporting.
John Bolton also alleges in the book that every calculation the president makes is about his reelection. Was that your experience in the White House?
Look, I've seen President Trump say, I don't care how this plays, this is the right thing to do. I see that over and over and over. There's just so much evidence that the president has not taken the typical Republican position on different issues, whether it's foreign policy or domestic. Again, I think that we are in a fight, not between Republicans and Democrats, but between Washington and those who are on the outside, those who are not a part of the system in Washington, D.C.
Do you believe John Bolton's book makes Americans less safe?
Look, I think what we see is that he has released information that is classified information, and I leave it up to DOJ to determine what to do next.
Fascinating conversation. So, Catherine, if the information in the book is classified, is the administration likely to pursue criminal charges against Bolton?
Well, Lane, based on my reporting here at CBS News, there's some very high-level intelligence officials who want the Justice Department to investigate whether a criminal referral is appropriate in John Bolton's case, given they believe classified information was disclosed in his book. You'll remember there were classified declarations that were submitted to the court to try and block the book, and they talked about intelligence that was sensitive compartmented information, or SCI. This is really the highest level of classification because the sources and the methods of collection are very fragile. And based on my experience working 2 decades in this national security space, that often refers to collection methods that are not U.S. government collection methods, but those of our foreign partners. So in simple terms, it may be one thing to burn one of your sources, but then it's quite another to burn the source of one of your foreign partners, Elaine.
Wow. All right. We will continue to watch that as well. Catherine Herridge, always great to have your reporting and analysis. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.